to get this one in, same thing, I'm going to do my first petal. I'm going to go into these two, because you've got to have 3 there and those 2 over there. So I'm going to go into these 2, and then I'm going to go into this one, and I'm going to go into these 2 over here. I'm going to go ahead and join these, and then I'll join these 2. Now I'm going to be joining this one. And just remember, it's the way that you're going. When my stripes are going this way, I'm joining them on here. So therefore, this is the sequence that you use. So it's those 2, because remember, you've got to have 3 down here, and there's my other side ones, and 3 up there. So now this is my one that's left. So I join it onto here. It can be a little confusing, but as I say, once you've got the hang of it, you're good to go. Okay, and then one here. And then I'm going to come down mine, and then I'm going to join these next 2 onto these 2. Okay, so now I've done it on there as well. So it was 2 there, 1 there, 2 there, and then I'm going to just finish this one and finish this with a white. Then I would come to move my strip up. I'd move it up, and I'd come with my next color, and I would have to do it in these 2, because you're leaving those 3. So I do it in these 2 on the side. There's 1 left here, and I would use, and that's how you do your join. Yeah, let's keep going. Alright, so this is the 2 for the front, which get flipped over like this, and you can see these are the 2 that have to get attached. Now mine, as I say, I did not crochet them together, so I'm going to have to sew mine together, which I'll do. I just put a safety pin there so long. And then this is what you're going to be attaching onto here. Now if you look at this over here, these 3, this is the front, so these 3 have to be attached to these 3. Okay, so just be careful which 3. So, and you can also look at your pattern here. You've got 2, 2, or that would have been 1, but that's attached there. And it's, so it would be 2 over here. So these 2 would have been with us, 2, 2, 1, 2. So these 2 would have been done here. So you're going to attach these 2, and you're going to attach this one. Okay, so these 3 are going to get attached. So I'm going to do that now. So to these 3. So it was skipping this one, and like I say, you can look at your pattern, 2, 2, 2, 1. So it's got to be these 2 for sure, and this one is 2, 2, 1, 2. So it's going to be these 2. Okay, so it's this going to be attached onto this one, and this goes over your shoulder, and then just attach it like you usually do. Okay, so I've got these 2 on, and I'm going to do my last one here. So remember, you should, this is with the right, with the work facing your right hand side. This is your left shoulder here. And now I'm going to go into this last one over there, and then I'm going to finish this motif. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and just finish the rest of my motif, and then I'll meet you back and we'll do the other side. Alright, so your 2 sides are slightly different, the way that you had to join them. So as long as you know, for this side, this is my left front. When I put it on, this is the left, so this is the middle. They're both coming into the middle like this. So this one, you would have 1 here, 2 there. This is where you join them, so it's these 3. Okay, so take it from the front, and you have 1 left there, and you got 2 left on this one. Okay, so that's what it looks like there. You would do these, skip these 2, and you do those 3, and it's just the 1 that you're skipping there. And just do your counting again, 2, 2, 1, so you know it's got to be these 2, and I did an extra 1. And the same on this, on the back, you had 2, 2, 1, so I know it's got to be these 2. So just do your counting thing, but that's what it looks like on this side. You have 2 left here, but now on this side, when you're doing this one, you got to do these 3. So just take it from where you did your different sewing, and it's going to be 1, 2, 3, these 3. Now it will leave you with 3 on this side, and it leaves you with 2 on this side, but it's okay. It's just the way it is. It's it's not a problem, because the armhole is where you have 1, 2, 3, 4 open ones, and on this one I've also got 4, just differently, 1, 2, 3, 4. So it's going to be the same size. Now, one thing, if you find your armhole is too tight, don't connect these two. You don't have to. Mine was just too wide. That's why I connected these two. But if your armhole is too tight, you don't need to connect them. Same with this. If it's too tight, don't connect those two. That'll give you a lot more space. It was just too much for me. So, yeah. So anyways, I'm going to go ahead and connect these 3. And as I say, just look at your graph, your picture here as to which 3 need to be connected. You can see, because this one flips over, so those 3 connect, and then those 3. So yeah, anyway, that's how you connect them. So I'm going to connect mine, and then we'll get started with the borders and that. Alright, so what I'm wanting to do is show you how we're going to do this top part of our garment. So this is the front. That's the, if you put it on, this would be your right side, and this would be your left side when you're putting it on. And we are going to be joining this flower petal onto there, and that petal onto there. Okay, so your middle back one here, so the middle one, you just join these 2 petals. I've just pinned mine so it's easy for me to see when I'm ready to join them. So we're going to, we'll probably sew them together. I'm not sure. If I don't, then when I do the border, I'll just join them together as I go, but you can sew them together. So that needs to be done. You need to put those together. Then this is where you've got your work flipped over. You've got your 2 for the front, and you'll see that you've got a gap here where you would have had another flower. But if you put another flower on, it's a vicious circle, because you put one's always going to be slightly higher than the other. So you have to stop it somewhere. So what I'm doing is, this is for my armhole. So this ends up being my armhole over here. So what I'm just doing now, you might have to play with yours a little bit if your armhole ends up being too small. Mine is perfect for me, but I don't know about for your size. There's different ways that you can go about it if it is too small. But let me just show you which things, which petals are being pinned onto which. Okay, so firstly, you just take your petal, and you're going to be leaving 3 on one side. Now possibly 4, depends if it's too small for you, you'll have to leave another one. Okay, but if you do leave that 4th one, this one, you don't want it just hanging, so you might just want to just join it over here. It's under your arm, and that's, so it's not really being seen that much. So if it is too small the way I've got it, leave 4 petals, and this 4th one would just join the 3. So then this one, and then here I would just sew this together here, like that. It's not really going to be seen, and it's not going to make a big difference. Now I've still got to obviously crochet mine onto here, but pin yours on so that you know whether you want it bigger or smaller, because if you want it smaller, you don't want to crochet. If you want it bigger, you don't want to crochet this one on. So the bottom line is, you're going to be joining these 2. Now this is for the left hand side. Okay, your right hand is slightly different. So for this one, you take your flower where this, and it's where you would have put another one over here. Okay, so just pretend that's not there. My next petal would have been here. So all I'm doing is taking this flower, but I'm just joining it onto 1, 2, 3, 4, onto these 4 petals. I'm joining this flower on. Okay, so whichever petals you have, so I've got 3. So start off with the back here. So just join 1 on there, 1 on there, and then these 2 are going to be joined. Mine I didn't. I think I did tell you to join yours, so yours would probably already be joined. So you're going to join 1 on there. Okay, so if your 2 are joined here, which they should be, because I told you to join them, mine just I didn't. So you join your petal on there, then this one onto these 2. Okay, then you join this one more or less in the middle of this petal of the next one. Okay, then this petal will go into kind of here, middle of this petal too, and this one onto the actual petal, and then the next one onto this one, unless you're not going to be putting it on there. So basically that's all that you're going to be doing. Now it's better to pin it so that when you crochet it, it's easy to see where you're pinning it. So you're going on to this one on the back, that one on the back, and these two were together. So that one would go in between those two. Then you got your next two petals, put one there, one here, and the other one over here, and then this one on this one if you need it. I'm doing mine. So I've got 3 petals left here, and I'll have 3 on my other one as well. And then that's how you put your top one on. And then your arm comes through here. So play with this one. As I say, this is not an exact science here. You know, if you have to leave 4 out, then so be it. But as I say, just attach to somewhere else. Is going to be a bit of a lone ranger there, which you don't want. So I would just attach him over there. It doesn't really work to pin this one here, which you could do. You could join it on here, because these are a little bit too long for that. So if you do join it, I mean, it's possible to join it, but you could join it with maybe a treble or something, and then you could leave this one loose as well. So that's another idea, you know, join it but not right together there, join them with a treble or something, and then that one would be for both of those. But join it to the way you need it to fit on your arm, and but that might make it too small. That's why you got to be careful. Pin them and try on and see what works for you. Then on the other side, this is now my right hand side. Same thing, you've got your work folded over, and then you've got this petal, which is this flower, which is going to be joining onto these flowers here. I've got 3 left on this one, same as that one. I have 3. All that you're going to do is join it onto, okay, start over here with the bottom. These you start with 1 here, 1 here, okay. So 1 there, 1 there. Remember, this is your top, so this is your first one. Join onto these 2. Then join onto here, more or less here. You're trying to put your flower more or less even, so it would fit over there. If I put it over here, it's not going to work evenly. See, this way it works evenly. So over there, this one onto these 2. Your next petal, and then the next one is in the half of this one. And this one is on the actual next petal, and then these 2 were done together. Mine just haven't been sewn together. And then these 3 are loose. So I'm hoping you understand that, you know. So these 2, so start off with the bottom 2, go to this spot over here, go to the middle of these 2, your next petal, the middle of these 2, your next petal, and then these are loose, and you shouldn't have any petals left because these 2 are joined. So yeah, that's basically what I'm doing. So I'm going to crochet mine on and join them as I go here, and then I'm going to just finish that, and then I'll meet you back here and I'll show you what else we do. Alright, so I thought I would just show you when I'm putting my flower on for the armhole. I thought I'd show you when you're coming into these spots over here. I join these 2 like you usually do. Then just come in and I join it twice onto this one. I'll show you. Just take that off so I know where I'm going. And oh dear, I just pulled one out. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then 7. So you're doing it exactly the same way. 7, and then you go into this one and was in the middle of this one, and I'll just do a single crochet, and then 2 in my tip again. 1, whoops, 1, 2, and then 1 into this one again, and I just do it right next to that one. You know, there's no set law here. And then you just keep going. So you're just going to attach it to that one the same way as you do to the petal. And I come along and I do this one exactly the same. This one is over there, and then I've got this one's petal. So the one side is slightly different to the other side, but you're just joining it so that they kind of are even on each other. As I say, if the armhole is too small, play with yours and you might be able to do it a little bit better than what I'm doing it. But yeah, otherwise it's fine. It fits me all right. So hopefully it'll fit you the same way. But anyway, that's how you join it for those. So I'm going to keep going. When I've done mine, I'll show you what we do on the next round. So I've gone all the way around, and this is my little armhole spot over here. Now for the next row, you're going to, so you just went into the beginning there, just chain 3. We're going to do double crochets. So 1, 2, 3, and you're going to do 1 double in each of your stitches. Okay, so 1 in each of these, and then I'll show you how we do the petals, because they'll be a little bit different. But otherwise just 1 double crochet in each of your stitches. Now you want a little bit more than you want less, because this is a little bit, my armhole isn't too wide. It's fine for me, but if yours is a little snug, you rather want to have a little bit more double crochets and less, but not too many, because else it's going to start being too many, and you'll see that there are too many. So what I'm saying is put more in than less. You don't want to skimp with any of them. So you're just doing 1 in each, and then when you get to your petal, I'll show you now what you're going to do. Alright, so I am by my petal. Now these two should have been joined already. I'm going to just join mine as I go. They should have been sewn or crocheted together already, but mine weren't, because I only thought about doing them together afterwards. But anyway, so you're going to do 1 in each, but you just don't go into this middle one. I'm not going into that one. I just skip that one and I go into this. So by your petals, you'll skip that one. But you're just going to go into each one of these. Now, okay, so I'm double crocheting to the top. And to the top. Okay, now I know that these two are supposed to be together. So for me, now if you hadn't crocheted yours together, then you can do the same thing as me, but I'm sure that you did, because I did say to do them. So I'm just going to join mine together. Okay, so I've come all the way. This was all pretty much the same. You went double crochet over each. Just remember by your petals here, I skipped the middle one. That's just going to be too bulky in here. I skipped that middle one and went over. Then here I just did 1 in each, skip that one. Now I'm coming to where your petals are. Now this is where you do it slightly differently. Go all the way up the petal in each one of the stitches, and then at the top we're going to do 3 double crochets. So in the top one you're going to do 3 doubles, 1 in the same stitch, 1, 2, 3, all in that same stitch. Okay, and then 1 afterwards in the next stitch. Then you're going to come across to this one and do a double. So 1 in the next. So just go across there. It doesn't really matter whether it's here or there, but I prefer to go in here. 1 in there, and then 3 in the next. 1, all in that same one, and then 1 in the next. So it should be looking like this, and then you're going to go to the next one with a double over there, 1 double, and then 3 in the next one, 1, 2, 3, and 1 in the next, and all the way down, because this is our last petal, and then 1 all the way down, and then you're going to join to your first stitch. So one in each of these, and then in your last stitch, and then you just slip stitch into here, the very first one. Okay, and this is what it should be looking like over your petals. So your petals look like that, and here's your armhole. Okay, so now for the next row, I'm going to show you what to do. Alright, so now what you want to do for row 2, for round 2 or whatever, you can see this is a lot higher than the rest of our underarm here. So we want to get the rest of this equal to this height. So we're going to be working back and forth on this section over here. Back and forth and attaching it to this so that we can get to the same level as this one. So the technique that I'm going to show you is the same for the other side. So what you're wanting to do is you're going to start off, you're going to chain 3, 1, 2, 3, and then turn your work and skip 2 and go into the third one with a slip stitch of your petal. Okay, so you're finished there, chain 3, turn your work and go into the top of this petal, but you're going to skip 2. So 1, 2, that's my third one, just slip stitch in there. Okay, turn your work again, and then you're going to do a double crochet into the next stitch, and we're going to keep going with our double crochets, and you're going to do 1 double crochet in each one of these stitches until, so go ahead and do that, and then I'll meet you back at the end of here. So once you've gone just straight to here, don't come over your petals again. Once you get to the beginning of this petal here, I'll meet you back here. Alright, so now I've come from the top of that flower back to this side. Okay, so we're working from there to there. We're not working on the top here. So I'm right here where that flower is. Now, you're going to skip 2. So I'm skipping 1, 2, and I'm going to just slip stitch in there. Okay, so when you're on your row coming back, this is what you do. You slip stitch into that one, then you chain 3, and then you skip 2, go into the third one with a single crochet, or sorry, with a slip stitch, turn your work around and do a double crochet in your first one. So I'm just going to go in here, and we're joining it onto this part over here, and then you just do a double in each. So that's really the concept of joining it onto this one. That's how you do it. So you go all the way back here, and then the other one's going to be the same. So you just have to remember that you're going up in rows, and you can see, I mean, once I finished there and I joined it on there, I could see if I turn around here, it's not going to be attached there. So it makes sense to chain and then attach it and then turn and start your next row. And then you can see you've attached it to there. Okay, so now I'm going to go to the end of this row, and then I'll meet you back. So I'm back again at this spot, and once again you're going to just skip 2. So 1, 2, go into my third one. What I'm wanting you to follow is the concept of what I'm doing. Okay, then it's 3, 1, 2, 3, skip 2. So I went in there, so 1, 2, so I've got to go into this one. So now on this one I'm basically the same. Okay, turn your work around. Whoops. I'll have to turn it around this way. And then you're going to do the same thing as what you've been doing. Okay, so it was chain 3, skip 2, and go into the third one with a slip stitch. Turn your work around and go into your next stitch. Now, you can go in here, or you can go in the one before. I'm just kind of skipping that one because it looks a bit better coming in this one. So it's joined like that, and now you're going to just go all the way back again. So do that again. It looks like we've got, yeah, we're not quite at the same level. So once I'm going to go back to the other petal now, and then I'll meet you at the end of this one. Okay, so I'm back at the end again, and when I come to the end, I do go in this last one here. Okay, then it's the same story. Skip 2. Now kind of work with where your stitch is at. I know I went in there, but I've kind of got to go into the second one. If I go in that third, I'm going to be pulling this. Well, actually not really. Kind of see which looks best for yours. But but because I'm doing another row, I think I'd be fine. Let me see what happens. If I go in the second one, yeah, I think it's a bit better because then I turn now. Let me see. I'm going to start with my doubles here. Let's see where that takes us. Yeah, you don't want to go all the way to number 3. So this one you're going to go into the second. This one you'll go into the second one. So kind of play with yours. If it looks like it needs to go into the second one, do that. Or if it needs to go into the third, do that. But I can see for mine I need to just come up to this one, which is my second space. It's very free form here. It's not anything other than that, okay? And then you turn your work around and do what you've been doing all the way back. And this is number 5. This is row 5. 1, 2, 3, 4. This is row 5. And it should be the last row that we need to do. So we should be fine. I'm going to go all the way back to the end of this one, and then I'll meet you at this petal again, and we should be able to be level with this one too. So go around up to here and I'll meet you back here. Okay, so this is row 5 and we're at the end by this one, and I'm going to go up here. I'm going to skip, see if I go into the third one. Yeah, that one works out fine. Now this was row 5, so now all of them are equal. So I went into the second one, not the third, because that's where I was. So I went into the second one. And now they're basically equal. Yeah, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what we're going to do for our last row. Okay, now for the next row, you want to have the right side of your work facing you. So whichever side you have to turn this work to, so the right side is facing, do that. Then you're going to chain 3. And this row you're going to just do, so that was 1, this is 2, and then you're going to skip 1. So it's 2 double crochets, 1 in the next, and then you skip 1. So 1 in the next, 1 in the next, and then you skip 1. So for every 2 double crochets you're skipping 1. That's 1, 2, skip 1, 1, 2, skip 1. So do this all the way around and I'll meet you back at the end of this round. Okay, so just end the way yours ends. Mine ended with double, double, skip 1, double. Then just go into this top one and slip stitch through. And that's all that you're going to do for that. Okay, so then you're going to chain 3. So you've slip stitched into that first chain space and then chain 3, and then you're going to do a double crochet in the same space and another double in the same. So you've got 3 doubles in one space, and then you're going to slip stitch into the next stitch. You're going to skip 1 and you're going to do 3 doubles in the next. 1, 2, 3. Okay, then you're going to slip stitch in the next, skip 1 and 3 in the next. 1, 2, 3. And that's what you're going to do for this round. Okay, so it's slip stitch in the next, skip 1, and then chain double crochet 3 in your next stitch. So do that all the way around and I will meet you at the end of that. And it should be looking like this. Okay, so now I've come to just about the end of my last row, and you're going to have to make a decision. I don't know how you're going to end up. You'll probably end up much the same as me. But I slip stitched in there, then I'm supposed to skip 1 and do another lot of 3. They're going to be right on top of each other, so I'm going to have to decide what do I want to do. So you can either, because this is fairly free form, you could skip this one and just go into there with a slip stitch and then skip 1. That's supposed to be a skipped 1. And then you're supposed to go in here. But that might pull it in a bit too much. It's not too bad. You're going to have to play with yours. Whoops. Because that could go there. Yeah, that could probably work. Otherwise, you just have an extra little one. Let's see. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in here like I should. Now I've got 2 spaces. I'm going to skip this one. I'm going to do 1 in here. I'll do 2. And then I'm just going to slip stitch into this one. Yeah. Or just do, you're just going to have to play with yours and see what you want to do. I might just put my 3 in. Let's see if I do 3 and then single crochet into here. Not single crochet, slip stitch into there. Yeah, that's better. And then I'll just end mine off like this. So let's see. Yeah, see, and that's fine. You just have them a little closer together. So that's how you do the sleeve. Now you've got to do the other one the same way. And yeah, it's kind of a little bit of a puffy sleeve. Now we could have decreased every time we got to under the arm, yeah. But I thought this would be alright and it will work. And once you've washed your garment, it gets much softer. It's still fairly hard now, so it gets soft and it'll lay a little bit better. So anyway, yeah, do the next one and then I'll show you how we do the rest of the garment.